All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be, Lord willing, I keep it short video, like maybe even just 5 minutes, man, because I wanted to just talk about how Jake, as always, seems to have smoke for themselves, for their own people, right? But then they never have it for anyone else, right? And recently I've been noticing, like when I've just been outside or whatever, that Jake's facial expression towards me is just like a screw face, man. Now, granted that I can't see what face I have when I'm walking down the street and I'm looking at people, so they might think I'm doing the same thing to them, right? But one of the things I've noticed with Jake and Eve, because of the curses, is that they're rarely ever neutral to their own people, right? It's either they like them or they dislike them. It's never just, oh, that's a person I don't actually know, I'm gonna keep it neutral, man. And it's because of the curses ultimately, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54. In fact, let me go to verse 15 first. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I commanded this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And this is the reason why we're under this, right? This is the reason why, although we don't like Esau, and we know that he's the devil that the Bible speaks of, it's almost like we'd rather live around Esau than live around Jake, because Esau is going to come with passive aggressive stuff and he's going to not want you in the area, but he's rarely going to, unless the society is completely collapsed, he's rarely going to ever go further than that, physically anyway. Whereas Jake, they'll try and do all the things that I said Esau would mention, and physical things right now because of the curses, man. So it's almost like, okay, we don't like Esau, but we can't trust our own people. So who can we be around then? Like, who can we even be around, man? And this is not a way that's reasonable to live. This is not a normal way to live on this earth, man. Because we're not even, it's difficult for us to even have our own separate place where we don't live by Esau or we don't live by Jake. Because this society's just crammed everyone in to where everyone's like tuna fish in a damn can, man. Right? And people will spend all kind of crazy values to live in a house in this society, but when they look out their window, there's another person's house that they don't really know right opposite, just like about 10 meters away, and then there's another two houses to the right or the left, just another 10 meters if you're lucky, 10 meters distance from each other. Normally they're joined right next to each other. But if the house is detached, it might be like 5 to 10 meters away if you're lucky. If you're lucky, man. Normally it's about at least only 2 or 3 meters. And then you don't know anything about those people. You don't know what they're on. You don't know nothing about them. All these bugged out holidays are going to be celebrating them. But let me go to this anyway. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And that's why even the women of our nation, we have to a certain degree, the men have an anger towards the women, man. They look at the women crazy as hell. The women look at the men crazy as hell. The men look at the men crazy as hell. Right? And like here's a little scenario, which it's not that necessarily a big deal, but it just showed me, like, man, these curses are real, man. I'm walking on the street and like I see a Jake in the distance, like a tall, so-called mixed race Jake that's a bit big or whatever. So I'm like, okay, he's on the left-hand side of the road. I'm kind of in the middle. So he's on the left-hand side, according to him, what he would be his left. So all I'm going to do is move over a little bit to the left-hand side, and then all we have to both do is stay walking straight, and there'll be no collision, right? So as I'm getting closer and closer to this guy, he now then moves directly into my path, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why are you trying to do that for? Like, are you trying to intimidate or something like that? Because it didn't work, by the way. Like, not like I'm trying to go on like I'm no tough guy or nothing like that, but it didn't work, and then they ended up just moving back over. But the point is, they didn't need to move anyway to end up in my path. That was more inconvenient for themselves. But these are the kind of dumb things that Jake will try and do to each other, man. You might be walking on the street and there's a couple of Jake. This is another scenario that I've noticed in one of these other fake ass intimidation techniques of this world. You're walking down the street, there might be a couple of Israelites or whatever, or a couple of other men try this in general. And one of the group of men try and step directly into your path when they don't need to. Right? They're trying to just step directly in your path and not move when they don't need to, man. And from my experience, that person in the group is normally the first one, man. That when it really was, if it was really to turn into something, they're gonna be the first one crying, man. The troublemaker is normally the one that ain't even really a tough guy, and I'm not even trying to talk like I'm no tough guy, man. I'm not, right? But I'll defend myself if I need to defend myself against somebody, though. I know that. But in this world, like I'm just pointing out, like we're cursed, man, and Jake's only ever really got smoked for each other. Like I saw a video just on the internet where one Jake picked up another Jake and damn tombstone power drived him on his head, man. And then start screaming all, and I was thinking, would you do that to Esau though? You pull out all kind of WWE moves on each other. But what about with Esau though? When Esau offends you, are you doing that to him? And it's because it's a spiritual programming that Yahweh's put on the children of Israel to where they show all their anger mostly to their own people, man. They might show some verbal anger towards Esau, but they don't. If in a situation where where Jake felt like Esau deserved that same tombstone power driver, he wouldn't do it. But he'll do the tombstone power driver on Jake though, won't he? And bust him on and damn near break his spine in half. But what about to your real enemies though? Some of these Jakes ain't even prepared to hope that we're gonna have these people in captivity. They ain't even prepared to hope for Revelation 13, verse 9 to verse 10. They ain't even like, man, yeah, I hope that the day comes where we get to do this to these people. They ain't even saying that. That's how lost they are. They ain't even prepared to believe that, man. The women of our nation don't really like the men. The men of the nation don't really like the women. The women will be proud when they're walking on the street, and they're just assuming that they're so hot that Jake's just trying to holler, when really he's not, more than likely not these days, man. Then you got Jake that be walking across the other side of the road to not want to talk to Eve, right? Moving like extra out of her way. And then the women are starting to feel this and starting to notice it, right? But they don't want to accept that they're the cause of it though, man. So then they have to go extra to try and get bare attention from everyone else in the world. They got to go to the gym now and do the most. Like, you know what's mad? Is most of these women in this world, yeah, or a lot of these women in this world wear more clothes when they go to bed than they wear in the gym, man. And they've got a cover, a duvet, and maybe it's a couple of other covers and pillows and all that when they go into sleep. So they should be able to be kept warm by those things. But when they go to the gym, they're basically wearing underwear some of the time, man. Basically. In fact, some of them are wearing more if they was in a swimming pool, man. Some of their outfits are covering up their body more if they're in the underwater. This society is truly ridiculous, man. And when you hear the camp videos and all these things, like all the Israelites can see this. Everybody else, they don't really know what's going on. But the Israelites, they really have actually understood what's going on in this earth, man. And they're able to, through the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, speak about it and let other people know about it, man. But are people listening, though? They ain't really listening. Right, let me go Deuteronomy 28 and 54 again, man. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. And that's what's happening in this world, man. Jake trying to deliberately walk in the way of another Jake, trying to intimidate and all that. Like, and I've heard other stories, like, even I remember one story that one of the elders in Babylon said, and he was like, oh, another Jake tried to get him fired. and was shouting out to him his YouTube channel name and trying to get him fired while he was trying to eat a bagel. He just wanted to get his bagel and cream cheese in the line, but some Jake that don't really know him just shouting out his name for his YouTube channel name, trying to get him fired, saying that me and him had an incident outside the building, and then they looked on the cameras and seen that the owner that was running his mouth was that Jake. But he tried to get him fired from his job though. And the scriptures makes it clear, if somebody would try and take away your daily bread and way to feed yourself, really they want you unalived. They really hate your guts, man. If someone's trying to stop you from coming up with a way to make money for yourself, just because they might not agree with it, they really don't like you. Now, if it's something that's off and illegal against the scriptures, then they should be saying it to you. But if it's not, then they don't need to even bother themselves inside of that situation, man. But that Jake was really trying to take away that man's ability to feed himself, man. And that's the thing that happens in this world. This is one of the things that I've noticed in this world, you know, is that when people think that you and them are on the same level, there's a competition that they got with you. When people think that you're on a higher level than them, they're kissing your ass. And when they think that you're a lower level than them, then they're trying to play you dry. They're trying to mock you and all that, right? But then when in the situation where these people are trying to mock you, and then they realize that you might be on the same level than them or higher, now they're hating. And that's why when Esau talks all this, go and get a job and all this, go and get yourself better off and all that, they don't do that. They're stay complaining. They're complaining all the time right now about how unfair the world is. But when we used to say that stuff, then it was, oh, you ain't working hard enough. Oh, you ain't working hard enough. That's the reason why you ain't got. But why? What's the reason why you ain't got it then? Oh, it's okay for you to blame immigrants, but we can't blame you lot. So you can blame immigrants for the reason why you ain't got nothing in the world or starting to lose out on your portion. But we can't blame the fact that you put us in the Atlantic slave trade for the reason why we ain't got nothing or we ain't got our portion. We can't say anything about that. And then you've got some people that they actually really believe that we would just not know how to use any of the resources that we have in our homelands without Esau. Like, mate, what are you on about, man? You people, some of you Jakes have really believed the hype that Esau's got and made about himself. Don't you know that the day is going to come where there's not even no Edomites on the earth and the world's going to be flowing better than it ever has? So that shows you just how much of a worth he is, man. Verse 55 anyway. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, which this is going to happen. It's happened in the past and it's going to happen again. Because he have nothing left him in the siege, and that's going to happen, man. Men are going to not have nothing left of them when all hell breaks loose, man. And they're going to become, because of that, they're going to become selfish. The only thing they're going to be thinking about is survival. If I can survive this, I can start over. If I can survive this time, I can start all over again. All I have to do is survive this harsh time right now, and I can start all over again. And forget about what crazy things I've had to do. That's how a lot of people are going to think, man. That all I have to do is survive this time right now, right? And I'm prepared to survive this time right now, no matter what. Because the way they're gonna, a lot of people are gonna justify some of the crazy things they're gonna do is, well, everyone's doing it. That's how people justify the lockdowns and them taking that C-119, right? The C-19er. That's how they justified that. Oh, everyone's doing it. Oh, we have to work, innit? Like, everyone, they're gonna make us take it anyway, so I may as well. That's how they justified it. And in the straightness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. A lot of people are gonna justify selling out because, like, well, why? What's the point of me dying? Just because of a MOTB? What's the point? All them Israelites, they're stupid. So you want to copy what them Israelites are doing? Them crazy guys in the corner. You want to copy what they were doing? They're bums. They're wearing shower curtains with tassels on them. They don't know nothing. You want to try and copy what they're doing? They're not. If they're not taking it, that's all the proof I need to know that I should be taking it. That's how a lot of these people are gonna think, man. So that he will not give to any of them. Like verse 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom. Now, these women now are putting their damn palms upon the ground too and twerking up there, shaking up themselves, man. Never mind their foot. They'll be barefoot on the ground and bare hands all on the ground, man. And then not even wash their hands before eating after they've just did one of these twerk things that they be doing, man. Eve is not like this now. The Israelite woman is not like this anymore, man. She's destroyed. And women in general in this society now are destroyed as well. They all think that there's some kind of superstar from somewhere, I don't know where. I don't know which part. Because if you're really a superstar like you think you are, you would feel brave and, well, you feel confident to step out your house without no makeup on. But do they feel brave to do that? No, they don't. Right? No, they don't, man. But if they really was what they think they was in life, they'd feel brave to step out of their house straight like that. But they don't, though, and there's a reason for it, man, because they know that they're not what they think they are, man. They know the truth, but this world's given way too many methods to lie. That's the problem. They know that what the truth really is, that men are stronger than them, that if men decided that women was going to have no rights tomorrow, they wouldn't have any. If men decided that women wasn't going to have any rights yesterday, they wouldn't have any rights today. And they know all of these things, but the world's gave them too many opportunities to lie. Right? It's gave them too many opportunities to lie, man. So then they're like, well, I'm just going to keep the lies going. But what they don't understand is that the day is going to come where all the lies are going to be made to be shown as exactly that they were lies. Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and that's why they look at us with all the disgust that they look at us with. And towards her son, that's why they don't like their sons. And towards her daughter, a lot of them don't like their daughters neither. When they see the daughter, they're like, man, she looks prettier than me. And what, like, one of the things I noticed about women in my time on this earth, yeah, is that it's very difficult for them to see another woman have a better life than her. Even if it's their daughter. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see another woman get a better life than them, man. They'll be hating on it if their daughter's pretty and they used to be pretty like what their daughter is. They'll be hating on their daughter. And we've all, especially as Israelite men, we've all seen this. Mums be always getting into arguments, damn near be getting into fist fights with their daughters because they're hating on their daughter, really. They're jealous and envious of their daughter. And the advice that they give their daughter is advice that's going to ultimately ruin their life, and it never ends up with the daughter end up getting a better life than the mom. And they do that by deliberately, man. That's their hope. They don't want their daughter to get a man that they would always was after all of their running on the carousel, yeah. After they realize the best type of man is this, actually, they're not gonna say to their daughter, get this type of man. They're gonna say, don't ever settle down for no man, play the field. But that's what you did. And how did it work out for you, idiot? Like, with age comes wisdom, man. And that's why all you people out there that are running your mouth trying to make it like the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone don't know what they're talking about. Listen, man. There's been plenty of other people that have started up running their mouths, saying what's what and what's who and all that, right? And then when you end up finding out what they've been doing behind the scenes, you're like, huh? You're like, exactly. But the apostles ain't been caught doing none of those things, and it's not without people trying. If people could find any footage or any tapes or any back and forth text messages of any of the apostles or elders even doing any of those things, best believe they would do it. Because when these people have been able to find a video, they might find a video of a man in his house, not harming nobody, and he's a little bit drunk, and he's playing a guitar, minding his business, by the way, and he doesn't even know that someone's secretly recording him. Like, they'll put that out there. But that's not really did anything to nobody, though, because it's outside doing it. I mean, inside doing it, right? And then when that flops, that's the end of it. What else could you do? What else could you do with that? But just wait till all the people that thought that these kind of videos and things were funny, wait till we find out what they've been doing. Then we're going to see how funny it is, man. Because let me say this, everybody, even of those of the elect to the nation of Israel, are going to have things that they need Yahweh to have mercy on them for. Romans chapter 8 and verse 33, who shall lay anything to the charge of Yahweh's elect? Is Yahweh that justifieth? Yahweh is going to justify us in that day, man. You people, it doesn't matter what you're going to ready to say against us. If we're of the elect, Yahweh is going to be like, I'll forgive them, so I don't give a damn what you've got to say about it. I'm forgiving them. I just wanted to put that video out there, man, about how Jake's always got smoke for Jake. Eve's always got smoke for Jake. Jake's got smoke for Eve. But what about the heathen though, man? The Hebrew Israelites are the only one that's prepared to voice their real opinion on these Edomites, man. And that's why we're, as Israelites, the most disliked group on the earth, because we're prepared to burn out our own people, but we're not prepared to turn our face away from the problems that we see with everyone else as well. We're not hypocrites, man. We'll take the beam out our own eye, and then we'll point out the beam in yours, like the scriptures say.